trying to find an angle they can, trying to find somebody out of position.
We're gonna go through on this. Oh, what a roll! Whoa! See White gonna go in.
It's going to be a really, really interesting one.
Oh my god. All of this competition could be so damn close, so I cannot wait for us to finally decide who's going to be the champion. We are expecting some chaos, some great moments.
Beast Mode has killed 3. Only gonna really need that rampage, so it's gonna clear it out. Santi gonna get themselves a big old 4K. Oh. Santi getting rid of 3, clearing out the house.
That is crazy.
Nunji actually kills 3 people.
This team feels entirely different on this faster composition. Now Saga4 is hanging around, getting onto the high ground. Post bomb's gonna stick on the Leaky. They're not gonna be able to survive it at the end of the day. Manages to find a 3K.
Rio shoving this Ana into a corner. Woo! One more for the road for Rio.
That is all signs go. Melophobia with 3 Melophobia. Start the fight. They'll end the fight. Oh my god. Beagle Bus, they have to play aggressively into this energy. Popping off in a moment where you needed just that. Ruby in that backline. Oh, the flick. Looking for it. Oh my goodness. The 4th one as well. Do they get the 8? They get the 8.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another week and another game of European CGL Overwatch in the open. So it is the best of the best to work with. And speaking of the best, you have myself alongside Spectrum. One of us is the best, the other is not, and I will not elaborate who is who.
What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Starbits versus T4 Demons for you today, and it feels like the last time I was here in CGL, which is, again, it's on paper sort of one-sided, right? It's kind of similar to the last EU Open Tier game we streamed. I believe that was Dream Eaters taking on Golden Pants' team, Aura Farmers. Ended up the Golden Pants, the Bull OCP, swapping off onto the Tracer, if memory serves. This one, we'll see if the same amount of silliness ends up happening. Obviously, we've got a little bit more of a settled meta nowadays. Wu Yang being played very, very often, but it is somewhat map dependent. And as to where we're going first, we'll have to take a look and see. Samar going to be the start. After that, losers picked all throughout the series, and I assume T4 Demons, I hate to say it, will be picking a lot.
Yeah, like, you can't necessarily take everything at face value, you know. You can't judge a book by its cover, but also one of these covers is looking significantly better than the other. We're going to see our hero bands come out as well, so see if these teams have a read on each other. But yeah, not to play favorites or anything like that, but Starbits already have a pretty set roster. Players like Majin, Doki, Zypher, Turbo Smooth, IQ Mighty. They played for 0907 in the last CGL season, I believe, and a lot of them are finding success on... Is it mostly Dreamlight, or is it just various teams around Face It
They're
Masters?
Starbits right now in Face It Masters.
Oh, in Face It Masters, they're Starbits.
Yep.
Okay.
You'll note Majin was in OWCS the previous season. Obviously, you see the ban through, DPS ban. Going to be Reaper to start things off. Strong enough current patch, so the perks are pretty good for him. He's decent at the front line, decent at the side fight, kind of a do-everything character, especially now hit scans a smidgen weaker. Baptista ban shows they want to play something faster, very likely onto Kiri Lucio, which is still strong, with maybe even some Wu Yang-based setups. So T4 Demons trying to force their opponents onto a more Western style of composition style, but it's just don't want to play into anything semi-static, semi-brawly.
Yeah, and obviously we briefly touched on these teams, but for the Starbits, of course, currently in Face It Masters, they're currently second place as well. They have been putting up a really spectacular performance. They've already qualified themselves into the playoffs as well. So we have some of the best players in Europe on the side of Starbits. On the other side of things, we have some players that might need to prove themselves a bit more. Now, these players aren't necessarily new to CGL, especially some players that stand out as being recognizable, like Larvin, like Mogul, like Sinal. But they have mostly been playing for teams like the Bliss teams, Bliss Excelsior, Bliss Marauders. It seems like they've sort of gathered themselves together to play something a little differently.
Indeed. To see how that materializes. This is a weird setup to want to play here, Ryan. Current patch, semi-playable if you want, but I think we'll have to wait and see once it actually happens as we get on to Samar. One of the more brawly maps in terms of control, at least kind of up there with your Antarctic Peninsula, right? Malga has been a mainstay for really as long as this point has existed nowadays. Malga not being so strong anymore, we can maybe expect looks more along the lines of Hazard for the most part. But, you know, given current economy is so focused around playing super fast, super wide angle comps, and Wrecking Ball does feel like the go-to if people have that pick in their wheelhouse. If these two tanks do, then we'll be seeing it. If not, then yeah, more kind of what I expected. Mashing on this Hazard and CGL S16 on apparently one of his two heroes, the Doomfist, to start things off.
Yeah, Doomfist would be a bold decision. Bold doesn't necessarily mean good or clever or correct, but, you know, bold regardless. We should be seeing something of a mirror here. Of course, with the Reaper off the field, it's not like we're going to see something off-kilter such as Zarya. So it looks like we're just going to be going into a Hazard mirror initially. Should be a complete mirror as well. Tracer Sojourn as well. Paper, you got to give this one to Starbits, right?
Well, Zypher is insta-dead, which is not the way you'd really want things to start out. Imagine looks for a trade, but figures the pull is a bit necessary, and now we are 4v4. Maybe Starbits do have a decent chance.
Okay, I'm actually impressed how quickly Zypher died. Like,
Exactly,
I genuinely don't know how. I don't think I could try and die that quickly.
Well, you could.
Okay, well, I hate you. So, 4v4 situation. We're going to see Majin under a little bit of scrutiny right now. Solix goes in to try and contest that. But when Solix bounces back to the rest of the team is exactly when Starbits go forward. Even if they don't get a kill out of it, they do get presence on the objective, which is always going to be helpful. Side flanks for the Tracer is always going to be important. Right now, it was a 2v1. Sending your Lucio to reinforce is quite common, but Sojourn there as well makes it a bit scary.
I mean, it's such good playing of this space from Starbits. They have a great setup. They know they don't have to force for kills. T4 Demons will have to be the ones taking the risk, with the point obviously being firmly in control of Starbits. They're taking high ground here first. Not a bad plan, but they do need to go sooner rather than later.
Yeah, that they will, and I think that's probably the opening that you needed. Turbo Smooth was waiting in the wings for the entirety of that, with T4 Demons just going full steam ahead. Has been traded out, both of these Sojourns doing a good job so far of finding their marks as well. The all-consuming void has taken over the players. It's a thing that happens relatively often.
When?
Hornet Silk Song. So I actually did beat that room, I'll have you know. But I'm currently up to the final boss. I won't spoil it for anyone. I'm up to the final boss. I did one attempt on it, and then realized that I forgot to explore half the map. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, so imagine that Starbits just played that perfectly and didn't use any ults and won, because that's what they did.
Yeah, they got 5 ults heading into what could be a final fight. The same could be said of their opposition, so this could be a pretty explosive fight. Could be fireworks to be seen, but equally, Starbits have such good positioning, and no Kiriko.
Yep, so that's already going to be an ult advantage, even if everything's traded right now. 4 is bigger than 5, who would have thought it? Sound Barrier is going to be able to come out to keep Solix alive. Falls lower and lower, but having that Kiri in the fight is proving to be too much of a burden to bear for someone like Majin getting sent back to the spawn room.
Yeah, it's a bit awkward. You do need Doki alive, and Akitsu would have been pretty useful, but now you do have a Akitsu advantage at the very least. You need DPS to go huge with their check marks to try and match, and with no signal, it's not the start you're looking for.
Certainly not, and Zypher really putting the work in thus far. First finding 1 DPS, 2 DPS, and I might at this point just give him all the DPS, right? Majin comes in for the cleanup crew, and Starbits 97% on the point. There's not even... Actually, no, there will be an overtime, but Signal had to be the touch, and it's not going to happen. So, a pretty convincing, not quite 100-0, but something akin to it for Starbits.
Yeah, they were pretty dominant there. Like I said, DPS had to go huge in that final fight. They've got Pulse Bomb, they've got Overclock, but the Pulse is super far behind, so it just has to be basically thrown in as Starbits go for the engage. The Overclock actually gets Ajaxed as Zypher gets the better of his counterpart in the Raw 1v1 at the very least, so pretty rough. I think for T4 Demons, the big mistake was just I think, pretty poor setup, all things considered. If their Tracer's further forward, if their Soj has an actual angle, then I think we see a lot much of a closer fight. But if you just take a frontline trade against the Kitsune Rush, you're just going to lose. So, strong enough start from Starbits, showing that they are mostly in control, just that some of their positioning is a bit funky fresh, allowing them to get first picked, and so T4 Demons able to find their win there.
Credit D4 Demons as well, I guess for opting into the mirror. Sometimes you can see teams roll out with things which are just a bit wacky. At least they know fundamentally how to make a composition, so they're not throwing in that regard. And yeah, I feel like it was mostly just sort of Starbits playing up rather than T4 Demons playing down, right? I think T4 Demons, they were playing fine realistically, but occasionally just the caliber of player on Starbits ends up being far too much. And I think T4 Demons need to it could be a pace thing, it could be a synergy thing, but they're certainly going to have to adjust to the tempo that Starbits is going to bring to them, because you know that a team like Starbits is going to bring the fight. You know, they're favorites in this tournament. They're already, you know, secured top 2 in Face It. So in CGL, who knows what they could do.
Yeah, I think they're a very, very strong team in CGL. In the top 3, absolutely. I mean, I'm going to take a look while we're here at some of the other teams, try and see which ones I even think are competitive, because I feel like Starbits are up there, the very least. You know, we've got Aura Farmers as well, you know, Golden Pants, Aka, all them. Is it anybody else? Gambit as well, I think these are the teams that are going to be the top 3. And I'd say Starbits at the very least are ahead of Team Gambit, so top 2 team in the tournament. I think it's hard to argue against Tier 4 Demons' chance to offer a rebuttal.
The rebuttal is always a possibility, but unfortunately that could be a timeline that we simply don't live in. If we're going to see the exact same mirror come out, then I'm not fully sure what can be done. Well, Larvin didn't put in a terrible performance on the Sojourn, but did seem to be outmatched by Zypher.
You need to take better angles, really.
Yeah, I guess so. And I mean, I suppose we're going to try and do that with taking this side fight with the Sojourn. Tracer actually goes in, but seems a bit disjointed, and recalls forced early means that Tracer isn't really going to be able to apply much pressure for the next few seconds, in comparison to Turbo Smooth, who's able to blink right onto Selex, secure all that damage, and get out with his life too.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about angles for T4 Demons. Sono just tries to blink through the entirety of Starbits, no angle set up. Goes straight into a kunai from Doki, recall force early, and then she can't play as proactively as you'd ever really want to. So Starbits, very easy first fight there. Tier 4 Demons, we need to be actually taking a side fight with our Tracer, with our Lucio, else Turbo Smooth is just going to continue running amok.
Yeah, that they will. In these kind of frontline heavy comps, it is generally the angles that are going to be the great equalizer between the teams. Majin's health bar not looking too great right now. Zypher still has a lot of space to work with, and a slide and a beautiful follow-up. Yeah, they get the pinch onto Larvin. Majin does go a bit aggressive for it, however. Tank Prince is always going to be a significant advantage when reclaiming control of the point, and also being able to clip the wings out from the enemy team by removing their source of speed. It's going to be a problem. Now we're seeing some pretty good sync-up play actually come out from the Tier 4 Demons.
Pretty sloppy there from Starbits. They found an opportunity from which to pounce on, but overstayed their welcome quite a bit. And all of this hazard comp is so much based around timings. How long can you stay in? How long can you juggle those cooldowns? You overextend that, and it's an easy punish for a team like Tier 4 Demons. Close that downpour now and looking to lose it at any moment.
Yeah, and we can see him going in with the pulse bomb to try and secure something. This one's going to miss. Kitsune Rush out on the objective for Doki. Mogul doesn't quite have one of his own yet, so there's going to be a big win of opportunity, especially with the overclock as well, where Zyve can go in. And I'm fine with losing that fight. I'm not quite fine with Selex investing the downpour when it was clearly already lost.
But this goes more into what I've been saying about this Tracer 1v1. You don't see how free Turbo Smooth is on this side fight, able to free shoot into Mogul basically permanently. And when we finally do find Sona to take that 1v1, she's literally sitting in the middle of her team. You need to be playing more aggressively than that. Beat into the downpour, forces a 1-for-1, but both teams now stable.
we miss a pulse bomb onto an almost stationary hazard. Fair enough, big fella. Alvin is sat here with the overclock, but it's going to be an aggressive sound barrier from Starbits, and the tempo's too much. Now Alvin is in like a world of hurt. You absolutely cannot use this ultimate, which is a big problem when you're at 78% on the point, firmly in final fight territory.
Yeah, I mean, your advantage for T4 Demons is that you do have an ult lead, right? Kitsu and OC both, you have plenty of options with this, but you need to first clear Turbo Smooth, and you can't be ulting in spawn!
I mean, yeah, if you're trying to get out of your own spawn with the Kitsune Rush is absolutely freakish. I don't even think a touch is able to come through there. Starbit's very convincing 2-0 there. Tier 4 Demons, they showed one flash of brilliance, and then all of their light was immediately snuffed out just like that.
Yeah, I think they did do a strong job of capitalizing on the mistakes that Starbits did make, but they weren't capable of creating opportunities of their own. I think so far is what we're seeing from the Tier 4 Demons, and Starbits basically were just winning because Turbo Smooth is literally free across the map. It feels like attention just slides off of him, like he's got some sort of invisibility cloak. And it's paying huge dividends. Now, Starbits, obviously up 1-0, means it's going to be a Tier 4 Demons map pick. And without the bans of Reaper and Baptiste, some things can change for sure. You know, maybe a Reaper for Tier 4 Demons would help shut down Majin somewhat. You know, if you can limit the movements of an OWCS level tank, you are going to have an easier time of things. It is as simple as that, but equally, it does feel to me like the main threat was still Turbo Smooth.
Yeah, but also that assumes that you can actually limit the movements of an LCS level tank, despite not being LCS level. It's easier said than done, for sure. Tier 4 Demons, something needs to change. That's all that we can really conclude right now. Whether it's a change up in style, whether it's change up in confidence, a change up in heroes, or just a map that they really like. Maybe they just pick Kings and full send it on Rhine. We've seen exactly how successful that is in LCS. The answer is not very. But, you know, I think that good vibes beat skilled gameplay any day of the week. Wouldn't you agree? I'm on my positivity arc right now, you see.
No, I wouldn't agree. What are you talking about now?
But,
You're telling me that you and all your mates get together, you're having a good time, you're a pint or two deep, you queue up against Falcons, and because you don't hate each other, you're just going to win. Like, not sure
I think the power of friendship is more powerful than you may think, Mr. Antoine.
What is this? Like the power of love? Like,
yeah,
no.
something like that.
I believe in the power of superior firepower and good Overwatch.
And right now, Starbits does have a lot of firepower on their side. I suppose there's difference where there is difference if I'm fighting 100 tanks and it's just me and my friends, but we really like each other, so maybe we have a chance. You know, it's certainly something to overcome and something to think about as well.
Depends on a tank as well.
Are you one of those tank guys that knows?
Not
like,
really, but I have a functional knowledge.
Okay. I've always been intimidated because I've always been the guy that likes history and stuff, but then like you go in class and there are like some proper tryhards who just tell you like all the specs of like every tank in. Okay, no, I'm still here. I promise. I was yapping pure nonsense anyway, so it's probably.
Yeah, I know we heard it.
Yeah, something like
it's just you lagged for like 2 seconds, and it all came squished together really fast. Yeah.
Okay.
How's your day been, Ben?
It's been a long day. I can't lie. I had to cover for another job before this that took like 3 hours, and then come into this at the last second. But we're feeling good. How's your day been, Isaac?
I woke up. I had a societies meeting, so we just talked about what we're gonna do for Esports Society. And I played Silk.
What are you gonna do for the Esports Society? What are you gonna do, Spec?
What am I gonna do? I'm mostly liaising with Riot for the Riot Play Club events.
Okay, that's actually pretty good. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Get in touch with Red Bull as well, because they like to come around and do like aim challenges.
Well, yeah, but we might have the monster thing, and there's like brand clash. You know how it'd be.
Yeah, I infamously
maybe more than other people.
I infamously would never shout out Red Bull on a stream sponsored by Monster. I would never shout out.
Was it Gamer Subs or
No,
G
yeah,
Fuel?
oh no,
G
it
Fuel.
was it was G Fuel, yeah, because we were sponsored by Monster, and I was just like, damn, they could use some G Fuel right
No,
now.
you were like his blood is made out of G Fuel or something like that.
Yeah, and then just in my ear, I just really angrily hear like, don't mention rival competitors, please. It's like, dude, is it
He's so Chungus.
Is it that deep? That's crazy.
That's
Still waiting
capitalism,
on map, still waiting on ban, which
Mhm.
is why you are unfortunately subjected to us talking for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't
Honestly,
lie,
this is such a cursed crew as well. Like it's you,
What?
it's like Echo and
What do you
Lottie.
mean me?
bro.
I'm so
Like,
professional. Obviously, everybody else is
no, you're
strange
no, you're
degenerates.
not.
Name one time I haven't been
Everyone
professional.
except you is a strange degenerate.
Yeah, exactly.
You know when everything kind of smells of, when everything smells of crap, maybe it's just on your shoe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Check your shoes, bro.
I don't know. I could just be fighting Young Defender.
He's so brain rotted. He's so
It's
brain
true.
rotted by just
It's
Hollow Knight and
true.
Silk Song.
We
in
have a map!
general.
We have a map! What's
We
a
have a
map? It's King's Roll! We spent that long talking about King's Roll! That's okay. Me, T4 Demons, listen, if you're coming Stockholm, you might want to avoid me because I got shooters, all I'm going to say.
You do not have shooters, bro.
I do
You're
have
in
shooters.
Scotland. There's no
I
shoot.
do
What
have
are they
shooters.
shooting with in Scotland? Bow and arrows, bro?
Yeah, it's like Robin Hood's.
No, that was me in Nottingham.
We're gonna ban. What do you ban? You lost to Haz. You were trying to play it yourself. Cassidy? Okay, if you want.
What?
And maybe you're gonna play like a Freya.
I mean, do you not
Maybe-
want the cast to deal with the Tracer?
They might play Bull, honestly.
Yeah,
Or not
it's
Bull,
like-
Doomfist,
yeah.
rather.
Yeah, sure, why not? Honestly, if that's their style, I wouldn't hate it, and it'll be something a bit different, provided that they can like form a functional composition around it. Sure, you know what? I'll take it. So yeah, Casban does make some amount of sense. Starbits, of course, they can have their pick essentially, and it's
Roto ban.
like, okay, so it doesn't mean anything. Okay.
They ban whatever the hell they wanted to. Fair enough, to be fair. I would also ban Rotok just off of like pure hatred.
Yeah.
The hero's
It's
annoying, so-
like when Sombra was getting banned all the time, even though she wasn't actually good, but it was just really
Say
annoying to deal
when
with.
that would happen, that still happens.
Mostly it's just Freya recently, and then a lot of Hanzo bans as well. I've been
Yeah, I
finding.
mean, I ban Freya. Who likes sending 2 taps across the map?
Oh yeah, no, I'm like an always ban Freya guy, and then depending on
Mm.
like map, I might ban either like Venture or Hanzo. Hanzo's just
Reasonable.
irrationally annoying, you know.
I wouldn't ban Hanzo. I don't mind playing against the Hanzo, but Venture is also reasonable. Like, it's sometimes you're chilling and then you just get like a merge, drill dash, shot melee. It's like cool,
Just
I can press any
exploded.
buttons.
It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
and
okay.
they get 1 more billion shields as well. It's stupid.
Is that a real unit of measurement?
It is, yeah.
Mr. Spectrum.
It is.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. Anyway, so Tier 4 Demons, they could actually be looking to just run a Lucio BAP setup. I much prefer Starbits than the Wu Yang on the defense. It's as we've kind of established, Wu Yang is not the be-all and end-all, but he is probably the best support. It's not like as uncontested as like, Release Sigma, where he was the most broken thing imaginable and like nothing could even compare to it, and if you didn't pick Sig, you were throwing. But like, if you have a good Wu Yang player on your team, you're never really going to pass up the opportunity to play that guy for the time being.
The hero just does too much damage. It's as simple as that. See how Ike Mighty can handle it. It's going to start lobbing those water balloons down range, obviously. The Lucio versus the Wu Yang, the main differential with the Baptiste as well. There's a certain amount for the damage. You have much more angle support from Starbits. T4 Demons is much more about enabling GG Selex just to run it down main and find value.
Yeah, Imagine can take a quick swing here. looking at the tempo, just sort of going in and out, you actually force Kiri to TP onto this angle just to heal you, and you leave the point kind of free there. Hazard can dive so much, but you forget that he is kind of a frontliner as well. But sometimes trading backlines is where it's at, and Starbits do a good job of just ignoring the main fight and dealing with the backliners.
That being said, closer spawns for T4 Demons do mean that if GG Celtics gets out first, they will have a about comparable refight to Starbits, who are still kind of waiting to get set up at the very least. So they made this attempt easier. How much easier, though, we'll only have to wait and see.
Yeah, that we shall. Right now, still just sort of jockeying for position here. There's some decent patience from Starbits right now. I think especially... Yeah, a lot of damage on Cypher, especially when you have a Wu Yang on your side. You don't have to go particularly aggressive. You can just sit back and let them deal all the damage. 4v4 situation now. Sona's done a good job finding Mark onto Turbo Smooth, but losing on Lucio is a pretty big deal in any composition, especially one centered around a Baptiste and a Hazard.
Indeed. I mean, you have to wait for Sona. It's as simple as that. Selex as well finds himself in altogether too deep, and it's straight back to the spawn doors for tier 4 Demons. We are close ults. If I had to hazard a guess, I would probably say that we just... Yeah.
Go on.
Oh, you take over.
Hazarding a guess, Majin can make an aggressive play here with the downpour, but we're actually going to see a window come out from Cypher, traded out with a window 2 that's come out, but unfortunately the aggression is there. The window is really awkward to use on the attacking side because often a team with too much mobility will just walk past it and take advantage of the grouped up positioning.
Indeed. I mean, the window for the long side is a great idea. It doesn't work out whatsoever. Now Starbits having everything bar the overclock of so many options as to how to take this. It's just a bubble and a stun.
Yeah, we're going to send Turbo in. The Wu Yang ultimate is incredibly strong right now, and it's going to just stuff tier 4 Demons right back into their spawn room. The full hold looking increasingly more likely as time goes on, Spec.
It does, right? Not a tick gun, and so
Where
far,
are you?
And
Is this a spot?
Yeah, it is. You don't know about this spot? He's dropping with Blade. He's gonna ruin everybody's day because there's no way anybody ever scouts him here.
What a weirdo, bro. He actually goes for the assassination onto Signal. He doesn't even need to pull the Blade because we've already gone aggro with the Kitsu. We are putting a downpour into the spawn room. Mogul takes it out, and even though Hazard is caught in the downpour, it has the BAP healing as well. I think the worst part is that Starbits can actually still hold here, despite their slower spawns.
It is a possibility, absolutely. You've still got this Blade from Turbo Smooth, even though he's not particularly in position to punish over the back of it. The walk is pretty awkward from tier 4 Demons, but they do have the sound barrier to hasten their egress, right, to make it a little bit safer. But at the end of the day, you still have to crack through. We can't be missing those pulses, man.
Yeah, it was a really good opportunity. Now everyone is grouped up. It's a good position for the Wu Yang to put in the damage. Turbo has pulled the Blade. IQ Moti has been felled, traded out with Majin. In the enclosed environment, Genji's not gonna... I'm breaking down in tears.
Honestly?
Not even my divorce felt this bad, bro.
How about we just leave and start playing like song thoughts?
Can we can we just do like Torb 1v1s or something like that, dude?
Honestly. Just stream our
It
ranked
might be
sessions
over.
instead.
It might be over. We do like a terrible podcast episode.
Dude, we're great at podcasts.
Yeah, canonically we have done podcasts. How many? I think you've been on more unknowable episodes than me, and that annoys me.
I am more charming. I've also been on the
okay, just
for the love of
untrue,
prod
but
more than
okay.
you as well.
I have never been invited for Love of Prod. So,
Exactly, I've been on twice.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's really okay.
your
Right.
ass.
Everyone's a hater nowadays. No, why is no one nice anymore? I say as I proceed to be the most toxic caster in the world. So, tier 4 Demons, you're kind of cooked here.
Well, your mental's also kind of boomed because you just C9, and now you have to defend with a cycle-based comp perfectly for 4 minutes into a team who scrims every day and is used to playing against some of the best in the region, right?
Yeah, and who can literally just enable their Wu Yang to deal damage, and Cypher as well to land shots, and that comp is pretty much fine.
I don't really have anything to add here. We square up onto main. Starbits are just waiting for Cypher to pick somebody. Or isolate GG Celtics and already get a huge HP advantage.
Yep, regen burst already going to come out. I'm actually impressed the discipline to not use the immortality field there. And the first cycle comes out. It's pretty good to secure the kill onto the Wu Yang. Now, often with these cyclical comps, they're fine with engaging, but having a clean disengage is about as important, if not more so. They're going to be fine here. Unfortunately, sometimes you can't predict Cypher just hitting a magic headshot like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of the conditions that this comp plays towards, right? You have all these different angles you set up. As long as you take space, something will die. And it might not be specifically to Cypher, but this time he's the finger behind the trigger. Oh, Sona dead too, and it might be the beginning of the end here.
Yeah, especially now that Doki's landed a headshot onto Sona. Tracer's going to be a complete non-factor in the rest of the fight, and Celix is only going to be returning to the spawn room with a whimper there as we get the tick on the point, and yeah, not really in doubt. Starbits up 2-0 for the time being. Tier 4 Demons scrambling to find answers, and I don't think that they will find one, sadly.
Yeah, looking more like imps right now into the face of Starbits, who are pretty confident in doing whatever the hell they want. It seems like they're not playing goofy, they're just looking to get this game over with more than anything else, but they do occasionally see opportunities for some goof. At least Signal gets to play the game as Constellation, but you are still down 0-2, so you still do need to figure out how to put together a reverse sweep against one of the better teams here in CGL. Thankfully, you do have a quick break to get all that sorted out and make sure your head is on straight, so we'll come back in 2 minutes or so with the remainder of this series.
Hello everyone, welcome back to some Sunday night Overwatch for your viewing pleasure or viewing displeasure, depending on if you're a fan of Starbits or a fan of the Tier 4 Demons. Because as Spec quite rightly said, the Demons looking certainly more impish. This is a hell of a matchup to go against one of the top Face-It teams for a team of, well, as the name suggests, Tier 4 Demons.
It does kind of feel like the first level in like Punch Out, where you're against like what's his name, like Skinny Joe, or
Glass
whatever.
Joe. Glass Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it's a bit peak, isn't it, mate? It is what it is, whatever. But reverse sweep obviously going to be needed for tier 4 demons. They do need to lock in. What do they ban? I would ban Haz. Pick one of your more comfortable picks, like a Rhine Doom, I would suggest. It feels like you're losing to Loki everything else. But it does also kind of feel like something that's a little bit too far gone. We'll see if they can change that narrative. As they do pick their ban, it's going to be a Weaver.
Okay, it might be over, guys. It might be
it's
over.
Jove. It's so Jove.
Okay, well, we can sit here and be thoroughly entertained regardless.
We're
You know what?
entertained. I don't know if the viewers are at all.
I mean, I believe in the power of friendship, as I've
Oh,
established.
no, you have mentioned. You have.
And right now, we are displaying the power of friendship because we're best friends, right?
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
remember
no,
signing that
absolutely.
contract. I don't
No,
remember
no.
signing that contract.
No, we signed it. We signed it.
When?
Literally yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
I was busy.
No, bro, I was at your house. Do you not remember? Oh my god.
I live
You really
pretty
do
far
hate me.
away.
Yeah, I made the-
somebody
yeah,
in the
I
chat
made
called
the trip.
Rhythm with autism. What a name. That's impressive.
No, that's actually how it works generally.
Is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Listen, Decay is in for tier 4 demons. See if that makes
That's
any
great.
difference, as we did see Soda get very little work done, generally speaking, on the Tracer. We'll see if there's enough change to upset the balance of things, or whether it's still going to be Starbits pretty firmly in the lead.
As there is no balance right now.
No.
Think of like the goddess of justice holding the scales, but like she just drops the scales completely, and because she's blindfolded, like she can't actually find them to pick them up, and she's just like
Goddess
fumbling
of Justice
around.
is such a like a reach of a reference. It's so obvious you're a lawyer. You can
Yeah,
just remember
bro,
Anubis.
I think the goddess of justice is more known than Anubis.
I don't think so. What's the name of the Goddess of Justice?
I don't know. It's just the goddess
Exactly.
of justice, bro.
Got your
It's-
ass. I
No,
got your
no,
ass.
she's
No,
unnamed
no, don't
because
care what you're gonna say.
no,
Don't
because
care. Don't
because
care.
the
Don't
law
care.
is
Don't
faceless.
care.
Because the law is neutral and the law does not have identity or something like that.
Chat, can we nerd emoji him? Can we nerd emoji this
Anyway,
guy?
chat, can we explode Spectreon? Can we just send leaflets to his house spreading misinformation or something like that?
Don't even know where I live.
It's Scotland. We've established
There's
this.
a lot of Scotland,
Anyway,
bro. There's a lot of Scotland. What was
I
it you're
could
trying to like?
easily.
You're trying to send misinformation to me. You accidentally send it to Gio. Wouldn't you feel bad?
No, not really.
Oh well.
I
Fair enough.
really wouldn't. I really wouldn't feel bad. I will send everyone misinformation at an alarming rate. I do not. I really don't care. Okay, so what are we doing here? Okay.
And a
Decay-
break. You can play
Decay's-
more for nade cons more than anything else. You're better at defending your high ground. Decay is on Bull. GG Celix is now on the Freya. If you want, I guess. Bull's gonna have a really rough time into the Ana break. You're just gonna find negative value into both the sleep and the constant boops that the backline can provide.
Yeah, you go for an initial roll through. Doesn't get anything. You do get immediately slept and whip shotted and naded. So,
Yep.
proving a point. But I suppose the idea is that as the tank, you absorb the pressure for your team. So, provided that Decay can live through all these cooldowns, which generally he will do, the rest of the team, hopefully Alvin or Celix can make something out of it. Yeah,
Celix
able
does
to
find an opening
get the
kill onto Turbo Smooth. That is really nice to have. Starbits are kind of struggling with their space control right now, but Majin comes back to try and plug that gap. Kai's allowed to move the entire time, but Decay dies.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ball not dying is kind of your entire gimmick. Honestly, even on Ball, like, you don't even have to be active in the fight. You don't even have to deal with that. Okay, you should do all those things. But the number one thing is just don't die, right? So, you know, that's going to be a struggle. Alvin will take down Zypher. Mighty certainly sleeping on the job. Makes sense when Arna's on the other side. Decay's gone over to the Diva and has immediately been slept again. Diva, I would argue, is even worse into an Ana Brig, especially with the Brig. The Brig just completely stops Diva from existing.
I don't think that's mostly true. I think it's very positioning dependent. I think the Brig can explode to the Diva, but I think if you play poorly, then you just get whipped every fight and you feel like a bit of a sausage. So far, working pretty well for Starbits. As you've noticed, Zypher's found 2 rail picks, Doki's got 1 at the signal. Starbits have built a very healthy ult cycle with the furthest away checkmark being like margins at 81% of a downpour. And Tier 4 Demons, though they are close Kitsu, don't have the same amount of firepower to bring to bear.
Yeah, that they don't. Things certainly looking increasingly more stacked in the favor of Starbits as Tier 4 Demons look to be trying to achieve something. We do send the lane out, but Mogul ends up dying while popping that ultimate, and the pulse bomb from Lava and Alvin wasn't able to get a damn thing secured either. So we're looking at a bit more of a reset right now.
Yep, more than half the time now gone. Starbits have managed to achieve a full ultimate bank. Mogul no longer the Kitsune rush. Pulse could be invested, but no, just essentially 1 clip onto signal. Celix is dead as well. It's another reset. Minute and a half left to go is 1 long push, 2 short ones. You are running out of road, and with Alvin hitting the tarmac, I imagine that it is going to come down to 1 last shake of the stick for the Tier 4 Demons before they are pretty firmly banished.
Yeah, might as well just send him back to the Shadow Realm while we still can. Cypher immediately pops the overclock, immediately takes off Larvin's head. We secured the 4v5 bowler shot from Celix, able to find absolutely nothing. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't know that I was talking to John Overwatch over here. Why don't you just cast the rest of the map? Why don't you just take my job? Why don't you just take all my money spent? Why don't you just live my life?
Okay, I mean, if you're offering, listen, 40 seconds left to go. Starbits in pole position to try and take this half in a very dominant full hold. Not the largest one we've ever seen on Dorado, but I mean, there's limits to this. The downpour is ginormous. The wall could isolate, but instead it's going to imagine maybe the wrong side of things. The sound barrier needing to be popped to keep Decay in the fight, but even that won't last forever. The self-destructs as well to get him another mech. They are trading back and forth, but when all is said and done, Tier 4 Demons have managed to dig themselves somewhat out of the hole that they created. Just imagine left to shift, and even with that trade on to Celix, it seems like the cart will continue to move.
As it so turns out, when you throw, the other team wins. So Starbits,
that is true.
Yeah, so Starbits go for a gigantic leap in, and they go for a gigantic leap in downpour play against Beat, and they do in fact lose, but they're going to back in. It's only mirrored pulse bombs here. Nothing else really to work with aside from that. So see if maybe Stay of Execution has been earned here by Tier 4 Demon. So as soon as Pulse Bomb is going to go wide, so Larvin's did as well. Huge anti from Doki, and Larvi unfortunately not able to get the healing in time. Kitsu was already used, sorry, Suzu was already used earlier in the fight, so no way to mitigate all of that effect. And we get yet another, and probably the final full hold of the day from Starbits.
Yeah, you need like a fight and a half, 2 if you really stretch it, for Starbits to close out this series and make it towards their scrim in, 3 minutes? That's 6 minutes, actually. So they've got bags of time to close this game out. But if we go to a next map, then I think they'll just have to forfeit. So it's genuinely, I think, a case where Tier 4 Demons, if they somehow make a hold here, then they will have managed to squeak the most fraudulent win of all time through. If Starbits are able to close it out, though, as we kind of expect they will, only 77 meters and 55 centimeters to across, then they'll be pretty comfortably an extra point up this season of CGL, and we've had to call a pause.
Do you think you could push a payload 77 meters in 4 minutes?
Like, against Starbits, or like in an empty server?
No, like you personally. Like outside of the game.
Yeah, I reckon so. That's a rate of like 25 meters every minute. So,
yeah. But like it's a payload as well, so like it's pretty.
Yeah, it's like 0.5 meters a second, and it floats, and there's not much resistance happening. You know, you don't have to fight against the force of friction.
Oh yeah, I suppose it does float. Okay, you raise a good point. All right, but does every payload float now that I think about it? I'm genuinely thinking, because like Junkertown, yes.
Yep.
King's the EMP, yep, that floats.
The flying car on Hollywood.
Yeah, the Hollywood flying car. Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Wait, hang on. Yeah, they all float. What the hell?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Even
everything
Iconvolt, the battering ram. Even the battering ram on Iconvolt floats, which makes no sense because it's a battering ram. How does it float?
Yeah, it does seem counterintuitive. You'd want like more friction on the ground when it's battering, ramming.
Yeah, it just works anyway.
Yeah, I think Blizzard really should have consulted us before they designed all these payloads. I think it really would have elevated.
I can't
Overwatch.
believe it. If like the only change was that on Iconvolt specifically, the payload had wheels and didn't float.
We should make this Overwatch 3.
We are going in with a 4v5, it seems. With Starbits down a player. Okay then. Well,
this is going to be interesting.
Right.
We're 4v5. You need to just get it to the end of first. Yeah, I really got nothing, I'm afraid. I don't have like a single like clever thing to say here.
You rarely do, I find. So 4v5 situation. You're still going to run the on a brig backline. Of course, you don't have turbo smooth to even things out, but yeah, no, I'm surprised Starbits didn't choose to wait. I mean, I guess they are pressed for time.
They have scrim in like 3 minutes.
Yeah, right, okay. So they have to win the 4v5 in 3 minutes then. That is unbelievable.
Playing the Ana break here, you're probably just hard farming for nano charge, then hoping Majin just kills 5. Zypher picks are super nice here, so risks are an absolute no-go for the defenders. All they need to do is keep shooting out the tank.
Yeah, that is true. There's no reason to play it risky. You have the inherent advantage in damage, HP, everything. Nade is good, but Alvin able to make this 4v5 into a 3v5 and Selex on the high ground as well. So, yeah, maybe Starbits could have waited like 30 seconds to get their player back, but we still have time.
There is still time, but there's also a stagger onto IQ Mighty. Can he join the map? Asked Lucky. Well, Turbo Smooth is back!
Okay, then it's a 5v5 again.
This is one of the series of all time. Say that much for free, in fact.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he can do that.
Yeah. He asked the question and then answered it himself. Being like, yeah, I can, guys. Don't worry about it. 5v5 situation now, so things should, in theory, be a bit more evened out. Majin has been already dealing so much damage. We can see how close he is to that ultimate. Selex actually does just get the straight gap onto Zypher, and we use the defensive downpour to achieve absolutely nothing, but Decay is... Surely we break one mech. Yes, we do. Okay.
Car's been rolling the entire time, by the way. If we have any Carters...
Who's been pushing the
touches? There's Turbo Smooth. They don't touch.
Carters? Meet the Carters, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, right. Well... Yeah, did you have words? I don't have words.
PayPal/Spectrum if you want to fund my alcoholism that develops after casting this game.
Oh, you had it. Yeah, no, that's tough. I kind of get you though. Right? Like, it's a hard day's work for any young growing man, unfortunately.
Yeah, I got nothing. I really got nothing.
Well, we don't have a player interview.
Yeah.
But we don't have an interview, but we do have a brief schedule. Now, maybe that was all of the CGL action that we could see for the time being, but we do have a North American game later on. Rat Milkers versus Iliad Poseidon. Why do we have a team called Rat Milkers, guys? Like, come on.
The mind boggles.
Yeah, like, I actually don't want to... I don't want to do like an MRI or a cross section on an Overwatch player's brain because I might be far too terrified of what is unearthed. But regardless, CGL, even though Europe was done quite quickly, we are not fully done for today. So make sure to tune in at 8 o'clock Eastern time, which I believe is about midnight, 1 a.m. UK time, European time. Yeah. So thank you for joining us. There won't be an interview. And we will now think hard about what we just witnessed. Thank you everyone joining us. Big thanks to Spec of joining me, and to Echo and Lottie doing the production observing work in the background. So have a good rest of your evening, and we'll see you later for some more North American CGL action.